brought them out of all that through the miracles that he worked through Moses, through the hand of Moses. And the children of Israel were free. And so now the children of Israel are free and they're in the wilderness. And anything that they needed in the wilderness, God always supplied it. In the wilderness, while they were in their journey to get to the promised land, if they needed something to drink, God created rain from a cloud that brought food down if they needed something to eat. So God brought a cloud down for them, and so whatever they needed, God would always supply everything they need. And if you think about it, just naturally, when you do something for someone, when you do something out of the kindness of your heart for someone, the thing that you always expect when you're kind, because you do the same thing. I know you do. When someone does something for you, the basic thing you do is say thank you. You just show appreciation for what the person has done, but the children of Israel, after all God had done for them, brought them out of the land, brought them out of Egypt, brought them out of bondage through Moses, and was supplying everything for them when they were hungry. He became. God said there's a cloud. God called it, "What is this?" And what this is whatever you need, I'll become that. That's what God had told the children of Israel. Whatever you need from me, I become that. And that's what God became. He became that. What is this? What is this? Whatever you need, and you need to know, as a believer, whatever you need, God can supply it. God can become that. If you need a healing, God can become that healing for you. If you need a deliverance, God can make a way for you through that deliverance. But the first step is trust. Simply just trusting and taking him at his word, saying, God, I believe you. But the children of Israel, they didn't believe him. They murmured and complained. Good morning, how you doing? And they even got to a point where they even murmured and talked even about stoning Aaron and stoning Moses. They talked about it because they was ungrateful. That's what it came down to, being ungrateful. The children of Israel were ungrateful, and because they were ungrateful, God had to punish them. And I'm going to tell you what happened. Everyone that complained and everyone that murmured about why they're there, they even complained about they should have been left in, why God bring us out here to let our enemies die, for us to die of thirst, to die of all of this. We should have been stayed in Egypt. And after all of that complaining, and they even talked about stoning Moses and Aaron, God decided to remove them. And so all of them that murmured and complained, they died. They died in the wilderness. But those who had faith, they lived. And the thing about it, that my point, when I say murmuring and complaining, the message that I want to get to you today is to always have a memory. Always have a memory. And that's all God was looking for with the children of Israel, for them to have a memory, to remember what he's done, to remember his power, to remember what he's done, to remember his greatness, and in remembering it, to acknowledge his power, to acknowledge his greatness, to acknowledge his strength. And in this day and time, even with the children of Israel, how they murmured and complained, even though God had done so much for them, this day and time, you the people of God, this is what God is looking for. God don't want you to murmur and complain, but he wants you to remember him, remember his blessings, remember what he's done for you before, because many of you're at a place, you're at a crisis. And in this crisis, you've been in this crisis so long, it can make you nervous. And this crisis can make you become discouraged, where you could potentially begin to have other thoughts, even doubt God. But do not doubt God, because your faith is the thing that's going to get you your victory. Your faith is the very thing that's going to get you to your promised land. And so even when Moses had sent 12 spies over to spy out the promised land, they got to the promised land, 10 of those spies, they went over to the land of Canaan, and what they saw, they were afraid. And because they were afraid